So what is the secret to sharing your ideas so that they're heard? In this video, I want to share 3 ways to quickly get over the barriers of sharing ideas so that you can get to the business of actually using those ideas. But hey, if you don't know me, my name is Jack Elkins. Some people know me as the guy who built the NBA's first innovation lab, but now I run a company called Sidekick Innovation to make business teams future ready and capable of creating solutions on their own. And I love it, because I believe innovation is a team sport and people care about what they help to create. So I want to share these tips with you because I get this question all the time. Jack, how do I share my ideas so that they're heard? Jack, my partner isn't open to my ideas. The company sees me as too young. My ideas have been turned down. I cannot listen to any more ideas from my staff. Listen, I'd argue that the worst way to share an idea is to say, here's my idea, or I have an idea. A lot of times, leaders don't have all the answers, and they would welcome some assistance. However, it's important for us to offer it in the right way. And leaders, it's important for us to provide the tools for how to share. Here's the problem. An example situation is when someone says, here's my idea, and it feels like a threat to the leader's energy, even if she's open to hearing it. Because it's like passing the possession of the idea to her. Because now she has the added pressure to do something with it, or otherwise she's seen as the place where ideas go to die, whether or not she knows how to implement it, which is another problem. And to the leader, it can also feel like a threat to her status. And since it wasn't her idea in the first place, it conflicts with Margaret Wheatley's principle that people care about what they help to create. Our brains are constantly trying to predict what's going to happen next. The occurrence of new or uncertain things can cause confusion and anxiety that we physiologically work to avoid. So we need ways to overcome these barriers. When you say, I have an idea, you think it's providing an answer, but it's no shortcut. It's the lazy statement, and it can cause issues because of implied ownership. So here are 3 specific ways to help move your ideas forward. And by the way, this works great with kids too. So number 1, experimentation. For brand new ideas, propose your idea in the form of an experiment. Instead of saying, I have an idea, try, I'd like to propose an experiment, or I'd like to propose a trial run. This now requires you to suggest not just the idea, but also take the extra step to figure out how you would try it. Proposing an experiment brings your supervisor into the caper, and you're asking for their permission to run an experiment, not burdening them with the challenge of implementing a new idea from scratch. Experiments aren't final. You can always go back to whatever you were doing before. They only require the manager to gauge risk-benefit or whether the experiment feels like it's right track or wrong track with the priorities of the organization. So when new implementation works, there's plenty of credit to go around. Okay, number 2, contribution. When your colleague is sharing ideas or insights about a problem they have, a great way to share if you have an idea that can help is to say, that makes me think of, and then bring an example. It's a great way to interject when you have something to contribute without hijacking the conversation. So you say, that makes me think of, so you don't hijack the conversation away from continuing to build together. And it leans into your credibility and expertise rather than creating threat with idea ownership. It's similar to proposing an experiment in that you have to take the extra step to bring the example, such as an anecdote or case study, but it can be done super quickly, especially if your examples are already truly top of mind. Okay, number 3, alignment. When you're working through issues with someone who has been reluctant to accept your ideas, 2 things can help. You can move the subject away from yourself and make your audience's goal the object. Here's what that means. Say this, someone once told me and it may work here. Or bring in examples, data, anecdotes, or case studies and allow your audience to draw their own conclusion without you stating it for them. Even if the example's from you or the idea is yours, you can say it's from a third party simply to direct your audience's attention to the data and away from you. Additionally, when the group is simply not open to what you have to say at all, ask questions. If your audience fails to provide purposeful feedback or reacts negatively to your idea, you can respond with multiple what ifs. What if this? What if that? What ifs help redirect to a possible future and the potential around you. There are creative, collaborative situations where you can announce, I have an idea, and your team will meet that with curiosity and attention, but that isn't what you should plan for when you are attempting to drive progress. One more tip. We don't think about words. We think visually. Do you dream about words? No. We dream with imagery. Whenever you share an idea, you should do so evoking imagery. Be as tangible and visual as possible with sequences or charts, examples, and stories. There is a short video with more tools here at the end card to help. Thanks for watching, and do me a favor. Win the day, y'all. Sincerely, your #1 sidekick.